So, Mark, did you see the guy who won $442,000 on Pai Gow poker at South Point? He looks so happy.
Yeah, I have to say, this is one of two things. Either he's still down $442,000 after this, and he's like, I can get back to the grind, or he knows everybody and their brother is going to come knocking on his door that he's ever met because it's going to be in the news.
Yes, just as a reminder, if you win something big and they take your picture, they're going to send it to every news outlet. I've seen this guy's face on all the local news, the newspaper, social media. Poor fella. But he's $442,000 richer, so there you go.
That's how you get your dad that walked out on you when you're 8. He'll show up now.
Daddy. So we had some more dramatic pictures, videos coming out of the Las Vegas Strip this week as another fire broke out at Sahara this time. And I guess it was some construction materials on the roof. Looked much worse than it was. Thankfully, that has been the case recently with a couple of different fires. And everything's okay. No big damage to the building. And they put it out pretty quickly.
Why can't we get Vegas people to not leave stuff up on a rooftop in summer when it can just spontaneously combust? It seems like this is the second or third time where it's just construction materials left out in the sun and it just kind of sparks a blaze. Like, maybe don't leave a bunch of crap on your roof.
We haven't had a lot of weather reports this summer. We were joking about that recently, and yesterday was the hottest day of the year, so maybe that's why 113 yesterday. That was pretty rough, but we've had a pretty good summer, so hopefully no more heat-inspired fires.
At 113, you don't even need the magnifying glass to burn ants. They just melt.
You're telling me. I was outside yesterday. So let's talk about the Sphere for a second. First, I wanted to start with this supercut that I found of the Sphere. And I think this kind of shows just what a landmark this has become for everyone who visits Las Vegas. This is just a compilation of different social media videos people have posted from seeing the Sphere and its different face looks, its emoji type looks. And this shows that it's becoming a phenomenon.
I still think my favorite one ever is when the people were golfing and he hits the shot and then the Sphere has like the sad face or like the, ooh, that was a bad shot face, even though it wasn't directed at it, just looked perfectly like it was. So I think that's my favorite of all these. And there's a lot of similar things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how often the eyes look at you, whether you're in an airplane or you're down on the street. They program that really well. So many of these videos show that. Staying on the Sphere, the Backstreet Boys, their residency has been insanely big and positively reviewed. But they just extended their dates, December 26th, 27th, 28th, 30th, 31st, and then January 2nd and 3rd. Tickets are going on sale August 21st. They are going to sell out, I'm sure. I was looking at Backstreet Boys for last weekend on Sunday night. On resale sites, $700 was the cheapest ticket.
Jeez. Yeah, they might as well add some more shows after that, and maybe they will. But if you're being really successful, why wouldn't you maybe wait until like May of next year, put some more dates there, break it up a little bit so it's not such a long run or people don't get fatigued on it. But I could see them coming back. And that's what I'm waiting for, is the first people to really like make this a long-term thing because it's so successful.
Yeah, U2, we thought maybe that would happen. They sort of disappeared now. Their movie is there, but Backstreet Boys Young, yeah, I could see them like just doing a residency for many years there, and hopefully they do, and the show looks spectacular. I want to go see it now. I didn't care too much to see it, but after all the visuals, I will try to go get tickets for January, and if not, hopefully, like you say, they add more shows. But other good news for the Sphere, the MGM Sphere is not coming, Mark, because the Sphere actually made money. Sphere Entertainment Company announced earnings per share of $3.39. Analysts had thought they were going to lose $1.55 per share, so it's a crazy swing for them. Their gross revenue was a little lower than expected, but again, they made some money talking about more concerts, more movies. They've sold 127,000 tickets for The Wizard of Oz already.
I'm excited. I think Wizard of Oz is the first thing that I really am pretty excited to go see and check out and see how it all plays out, especially with the AI added. Who knows if it will be good or bad, but we'll hear more about that as soon as it launches. But I'm most surprised they sold 4 million tickets of like birds flying across videos of birds flying and like giraffes walking. It's like, what?
Postcard from Earth, 4 million tickets sold. So I'm imagining they've already more than made their money back for what they spent on that. A few other takeaways. The advertising on the Exosphere was actually down $500,000 in the quarter. So they actually got less money for advertising than before. And then they just talked about their future spheres. We've heard a little bit about this before, but Abu Dhabi, that's moving forward. And then they said they finalized plans for their 5,000 seat versions of this, which will play all the same content and be a very similar thing, just a smaller size. And they're ready to build those cheaper than ever, James Dolan says. So there you go, Sphere Entertainment. This is the best news that this company has ever had.
Yeah, the 5,000 seat seems like the perfect size, and if they can do it at a fraction of the cost of building this Sphere, which was what, like $2 billion, if you could get that down to like 500 million, then I could see it being a viable thing that pops up throughout the world in different places, and they can sell it out, especially if they have a catalog of movies to play and then they have smaller concerts. I think it'd be a really cool, more intimate feeling type of venue.
Yeah, and it's only going to get cheaper for them to build these as they have the expertise. They know what works, what doesn't. Technology will just get cheaper for them as well. I've said it before, a lot of people don't like James Dolan, not the most liked person in the world, but he was a visionary with this. This was
One
his
of the
project. But hey, he gave us the Sphere. So that will be on his gravestone. Just a big picture of a sphere.
Kudos to the people that actually designed it, but he did push it through, so give him credit for that.
All right, so NFL season is coming. I just stumbled across this the other day. I should probably put this in a show a couple weeks from now because they haven't updated it for 2025. I think that's coming next week. But the Review Journal has a whole resource on NFL bars in Las Vegas. So if you're visiting, you can check your team and see which bars are there for you. Now, outside the Raiders, Mark, I know you've seen the list now, but going in, which team would you have thought had the most bars in Las Vegas?
Probably Dallas.
So number one was the Raiders, but we said we excluded them. Then the Packers and the Buffalo Bills at 4. I couldn't find a Detroit Lions bar. I thought there was one here, so I don't know if this is a complete list, but for tourists coming, I think it's good. You can kind of do it. The Packers bars here are all fun. The Rum Runners and the Draft House. So go Packers. Those are great bars to go visit.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm not
Mark.
too surprised with I'm not too surprised with Packers being up there. They have a lot of fans that never been to Wisconsin and stuff like that. Buffalo Bills surprised me a little bit. That seems more of like a local type of following, although, in the days of the 90s, they were more national. And then I guess Josh Allen probably brings a little bit more national fandom. I'm surprised that, the Lions don't have one, not super surprising, or maybe they do. We just don't know what it is. The fact that the Browns have 2 doesn't make any sense to me. It's like the worst franchise in sports history, and they have 2 somehow.
They got loyal fans, something the Lions haven't traditionally had, although yes, they did. How did they get the name back? They sued to get the name back, all this other stuff. That's loyal fans.
But
Cleveland.
Man, you don't walk around seeing people wearing Cleveland Brown shirts anywhere. Come on.
Sorry to all the Cleveland Brown fans who watch this show. As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our weekly after show bashing of each other's football teams. Lots of laughs behind the channel, Vegas stuff. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. And thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So a quick update from the last show. I talked about Battista and Battista's hole in the wall and the delay in renovations. One of the things that came out of the LVCVA meeting yesterday was that the owner of Battista's has settled with F1 in the race and everything else. So that's good news. And then I also came across the fact that Battista has written a book. In 2015, he wrote a book, Ciao Battista, about his life. And I also came across an article talking about somebody who just ran into him randomly in a national park in Utah. I'm assuming Zion or something. Talk with him, and he sang opera to them out in the middle of the hiking trail. I've talked about him singing opera at IHOP. Cool guy. I'm going to buy this book to learn more about his life.
Yeah, that's interesting. You get a look at a character from Vegas that a lot of people love and has been around forever. So it's something fun. And then, hey, these renovations paid for by F1. Something good came out of F1, maybe.
Yeah, now we know why they were renovating, right? They got the windfall and the settlement, and then they're going ahead to do that. But it's good. Check out Battista's book. Apparently, Battista is still alive, retired in Utah, I've heard. So staying on the topic of fun, Mark, Circa Survivor is about to start. Now, I remember last year we talked about unboxing the sign-up, but I don't remember what it looked like. Did it have a screen in it? Because this one, Mark Meltzer shared, you open it up, and there is Derek Stevens talking to you in like NFL Films kind of style. Remember those like voiceovers from NFL Films back like 30, 40 years ago? That's what it felt like. I liked it.
Yeah, I think this is amazing. This is something really cool. It kind of adds a little bit of flair to the whole process of everything and makes me kind of sad that we're not in it. We should do like a MTM Vegas entry or something and have everybody vote on what to pick. Maybe we'll be out after the first week, but I think, Derek Stevens usually does things right as far as his vision and delivering on that vision. I think this is right up there. I wish like my season tickets from an NFL team should come with something like this because we spend a ton on that too, but it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, it's very impressive to have a whole screen, and I wonder how much that costs to do that. And then as soon as you open it, the screen is turning on by itself and it presents the message. So it's just very well done and thought out. And it's just a gambling contest. That's what's so funny about it. But it's serious business, and gambling, sports gambling, more serious than ever.
Yeah, I wonder, do they make like any money off of this whole promotion?
I don't believe they have a rake on this, so I don't think so. I think it's just a matter of bringing people in and the spectacle. And then they also had the TV show too on, what is it, VSiN? So maybe they make money off of that. I'm sure that it's doing quite well considering the amount of time they're putting into it, marketing it, and the way they've expanded to different contests as well.
Yeah, I mean, they get a lot of publicity out of it and a lot of social media engagement, I'm sure. So there's some stuff that you can't put a price on that happens too. But yeah, I have to imagine sending out all these video boxes was quite costly.
So you're going to have to remain seated for this next one, Mark, because I know it's going to be very upsetting for you.
I stand up all the time.
Has closed at OYO. Hooters, the long famed restaurant that's been inside OYO since the days it was the Hooters Hotel and Casino, has now closed. And there's some other stuff going on that we'll talk about in a second. But this was big news. A lot of people felt this. I saw it all over social media. People very concerned about the fact that we're losing Hooters at OYO.
Yeah, they're dead to me. I will never walk into OYO again. They should just rebrand it all Hooters once again. That was back in the heyday when it was fun and they actually had bars in the center of the casino and it didn't feel like crappy. I mean, it still felt crappy, but it was fun. It was fun. I don't know. This is a sad, end of an era for sure. And even though Hooters isn't great and, it was kind of stuck in the back corner, wasn't anything special, it's still sad to see it go. And you're losing a little bit of history, I feel like.
Yeah, this is sort of the last part of the Hooters era of that building. One of the more interesting hotels in Vegas, if you look at the history and all the different names and everything it's gone through. It's worth a Wikipedia deep dive if you guys are into that. But they announced a few other things. So there'll be a new restaurant concept replacing Hooters. We don't know what that is. But the new owners talked about some of the renovations they're doing, including on the elevators. And this is a big problem. We've talked about it before, slow elevators. They say they're speeding them up. It's funny to kind of see that in a press release, but it's probably one of the best things they can do for customers to help them out. They're also going to do room refurbishments. They say those are going to follow no specific timeline. They've redone and freshened up the pool area a little bit. And then they dropped this in. As part of its long-term vision, OYO is also exploring options to premiumize the hotel and potentially rebrand the property in the future. I don't think I've ever seen that word premiumize in writing. I don't know.
Do you think they just think the ballpark is going to bring like higher rates or something? I don't know. It's always been kind of like a lower class type of place, like a more party dive young person spot to go to in Vegas. I don't know that they can, and it's off the strip a little bit. I don't know that you can really premiumize that.
Yeah, I think this is all a ballpark gamble, saying if the ballpark does come, which, concrete is poured, then what will this property be? I think it will either get torn down or something will be redeveloped alongside of it. But we're talking a long time from now. But it is a premium piece of real estate when you consider that a baseball stadium is going to be right next door. I mean, right next door.
I still love the little cabana rooms out there by the pool. The pool area is decent. It was one of the first or only 24/7 type pools in Vegas, so that it always had a special place for that. I remember, back in the day we went to do you remember when it was the Dan Marino restaurant or whatever up in the front there, and they had like the $9.99 prime rib deal? My wife would eat that, while I would play cards and stuff, and just had a lot of good memories there, even though it was always a little bit trashy.
So speaking of a little bit trashy, let's go down to Fremont Street. See, perfect
there
segue.
You go. There's a good segue.
Learn to be a Fremont Street performer. Our friend Hillary, she's in our Patreon. We met her in person. Fun Vegas person. And she went out and said how to become a Fremont Street performer. So she went out and talked to all the performers about what they do, did a fun little video, also got a circle for herself at the end. And I thought it was a really neat video and worth watching. Plenty of gorillas in that video as well.
Yeah, I had to pay the guy to stand in for me because, I've been lying about being the gorilla for how many days now? What was the last video?
I think we're up to like 160 now.
No, I think it was a fun look at, what they do and how it works and just getting a view of the different types of people that are doing it, the different acts, different setups and all of that stuff. It's an interesting look for sure.
So we're going to stop the show for a second, do a little bit of housekeeping here. We have more stories coming up after this. Just wanted to talk about the channel, the Patreon. It's been growing. We really love everybody in there. If you love our show, consider doing that. It does help to support us, but we also do a separate show every single week. It's a lot of fun, and people really do enjoy it. And as we grow our coverage of Las Vegas, we're also looking to add advertisers to the show. In a typical news sort of fashion, we're looking for local businesses, high quality businesses to work with. We have a large audience. We want to bring them to you. As always, our editorial disclosures, our ad disclosures, everything will be the same, just similar to the ads we've run on the channel before.
I'm ready for the Chris Angel ad. Let's go. Bring it in, Chris. Let's do it.
That's what this whole segment was actually about, just reaching Chris Angel. But seriously, if you're interested in working with us, our email is down in the description. Great show, great audience, and we love to bring high quality content and to expand this and keep it going. And last thing, subscribe. We have a ton more viewers than subscribers, more than many channels. So if you do like our content, please subscribe. That will help us grow and reach more people. But let's talk F1, Mark. They extended the race officially 2 more years, even though it kind of already had been extended, or the LVCVA finally did. I guess the county commission had already done it. Remember, F1 put the next year's race on the schedule before it was ever even approved. So we kind of know how this all goes. But the LVCVA did something a little controversial in approving the race for 26 and 27. They added a $10 million sponsorship each year, meaning that Las Vegas is sponsoring the race that we didn't need to sponsor before. And this brings LVCVA spent a ton of money on tickets, on sponsoring other races in other cities, which I think makes more sense than sponsoring this race. So this will bring their total commitment, $58.5 million spent to F1 from the LVCVA.
I thought the whole point of having the race was to bring people, or put Vegas in front of more people, discuss, especially the F1 viewers that are overseas. So why are they spending, unless this was just a part of the backhand deal, like, hey, we're going to come to your city, but you need to spend so much money a year, which is probably the case. It still seems stupid. When you already have the race, you already get all the coverage from having the race. They already talk about it on the circuit. It just doesn't seem like it's worthwhile spending.
I agree. I don't understand this at all. I don't understand a lot of the moves the LVCVA makes. LV Sports Biz did a great write-up on this. He was at the meeting of the LVCVA, so I'm going to put a link to the article, a great read on all of that. Steve Hill, who runs LVCVA, was asked about this downturn and what they're doing. They are spending a ton of money through the end of this year on a value ad campaign to say there is value in Vegas. They talk about how they're using influencers, and you're going to see these ads everywhere. And the type of influencers they use are not Vegas influencers. They use these huge influencers from outside to come to Vegas, do those types of videos.
It's all going to be about the Golden Steer.
Yeah, there's Golden Steer videos, $1 million of Golden Steer videos. The last thing he said that was quite interesting, talking about the downturn, the down in occupancy, he just said a lot of people are coming to Vegas, but they're staying with their friends and families. So I guess all of the locals, our guest bedrooms are full. That's the reason why.
Yeah, and they must all be driving cars because the flights are down and everything else. But yeah, Sean, I mean, I'm planning on staying at your couch the next time I'm in town. So there we go.
For you, I'll do it. It's okay. We'll find you a bed, Mark. This is just nuts, though. $20 million more, sponsoring a race that literally is in the city, showing the city. Like, what more advertising do you need? But this is all complex business relationships. I'm not defending it. This is just sort of the way the LVCVA has always done business, and it's not changing now.
Yeah, they got to get their $10,000 tickets too, Sean.
They spent $7 million on tickets already. $7 million. Why didn't they give us any of the $7 million tickets?
Yeah.
Who's getting these $7 million worth of tickets? That's insane. But let's close with this. Circus Circus rumors. We talked on the last show about the Adventure Dome. It's looking better than ever. We've talked previously how Phil Ruffin said it's for sale. He wants something like $5 billion for it, which is just insane. So social media accounts are taking off with that. So I've received a few different messages in the last few weeks talking about this new rumor of Circus Circus being bought and torn down for a luxury hotel company. And so I've done some research trying to figure all of this out. And I've identified this account. Do you remember when the Disney rumors started back up early this year? Well, it was this account that wrote this and said, Circus Circus is going to be replaced. And it says, I can't say what company yet, but you take your kids there, stand in line to ride the rides, and it costs a fortune. So they were hinting at Disney. That was January 28th. Well, July 26th, they said that Circus Circus is going to be bought and demolished to be replaced with a new luxury resort by a world-known brand. So clearly they're just taking the same message, changing the text, getting engagement. Circus Circus has not been sold. It's not being torn down. We don't know what the future is yet. As of now, it's just Circus Circus. It's there for your enjoyment.
I mean, the first one was true. It's just the Adventure Dome when it's not half off, $60, kind of expensive. You ride rides, so you wait in line with your kids. This is just, this is why I hate social media in parts, especially like TikTok and stuff. They're just, engagement farming. They're doing this to get clicks. And it's discouraging when you see these people have like 200 and some thousand followers and they just don't have anything to back it up. And they just do it on repeat. Like they'll probably do it in another 6 months with a similar story of something else, and they get people spun up, and it doesn't even make sense. There already is 2 luxury type resorts that opened in the area, and they both are like nearing bankruptcy or at least struggling mightily. So nobody's going to spend a ton of money to tear this thing down and build something new. It's just crap.
Yeah, and I don't see a multinational hotel brand building something. I mean, Resorts World is technically what they're describing here, right? It's a luxury hotel brand. So we could see a new project made with hotel brands like Hilton or Marriott or Hyatt. It's just, there's nothing to this. It's just, we know it's for sale. Nobody's bought it, and that's it. It's unfortunate that particular with this property and the Disney, all this stuff goes viral. So we're just trying to set the record straight for all of you out there. I want Circus Circus to live. I want it to get some money, and I want it to become something modern. And I don't want to lose all of what it is. It is one of the most historic properties left in Vegas, and it could be something great.
They just need to open up the stupid theater and let us go in there and watch them singing. It'd be great.
Yeah, I'll pay money up. Wizard of Oz. Throw the Wizard of Oz. The original. Forget the AI version. Just throw the original Wizard of Oz in there and charge me.
Bruno Mars a line of credit, let him lose, and then you got him for life. He'll perform every Friday.
Yeah, that's the next rumor. Bruno Mars casino opening at Circus Circus. So let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. F1 is spending more money on the race. The race now officially confirmed by everyone for 5 years at least. Circus Circus and these rumors being happy for winning $442,000. Just don't let them take your picture. Just, you win some money, keep it to yourself. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
And sometimes we have to record 2 outros too.
Well, you get to say something different every time. I have to say the same thing, and then I mess it up. It's all done.
Have a good weekend, everybody.